So just really quick, what does really that RPA COA look like? And say, hey, I want to get to that level 5 over time, right? Eventually, what does that really mean? Well, really, a center of excellence is a holistic of different functions to manage your RPA infrastructure. Again, this is after you've gone through the pilot, after you decided you want to scale, and now you want to build this as an enterprise type of functionality and strategic, imperative for your organization. So this RPA COE really handles your overall strategy, right? What are the short and long-term decisions for RPA? Where are we going to go in the next 2 or 3 years with RPA? What's that communication going to be like? How are we going to work with budget allocations when it comes to your budget approvals for the following year? It also sets up the governance. How do we provide guidance? How do we support and share learnings with other parts of the organization about the things we've done in certain areas? We can be in lending only for a while, but how do we share that with operations and with your back office and with card services and with accounting? What's that governance structure ultimately going to look like? And then, of course, operational change management, which is key, right? If we are actually removing some manual tasks from an employee's work, right, they're going to reallocate their time to something else, right? Eventually, as we continue to do more and more of this, we'll have to ask the question is like, do we have different structural changes? Do we have different job descriptions now? Because now the employees, we want them to do something different because now we have automation or robots doing a portion of their task, right? How are we going to do the operational change management? What's the communication and internal marketing message that we're going to have with employees about why we are implementing automation within our operation? And then, of course, technology infrastructure, right? This is where you have your IT teams directly part of the COE to talk about what is the right automation tool for our organization. Right. As we mentioned, there are a lot of RPA platforms out there. We want to make sure that we select the right one and it's comfortable with your IT teams and be able to sit inside of your network in the right way. And then we talk about process viability. So now if we have this team together, how are we going to assess the different operations and how are we going to rack and stack and rank which processes are actually more viable for RPA right now versus the ones that need a little more work going forward? So there's a process viability assessments that we can go through from a COE perspective, to making sure that we're evaluating these processes using a standard methodology and some sort of scoring matrix to making sure that we can rack and stand the ones that are ready to go. Of course, maintenance, right? With any other, just like having an employee, your bots will have maintenance. If certain processes changes, there's update to the software, we'll have to go in and tell the bot to go over here now or log in this way. Or if we have to reinstall something, we have to make sure that we continue to maintain the bot if there's any changes to the process or any changes to the software. Just like you would retrain an employee to do something different. If there's a new software release, we basically will retrain the bot to do the very same thing. And then, of course, performance and benefits tracking. I think this is key. Just like you have performance scorecards for your process in your department, you have scorecards and dashboards for your employees in terms of their performance. We also build in performance tracking and benefit tracking for the bots. They're out there now doing production work, these bots are. So we want to understand the performance. How many are they doing? How often are they doing it? What's their processing time? What's their uptimes, right? They need performance tracking just like employees do as well. That ultimately gets to the long-term center of excellence, right? Incorporating an overall strategy, governance, make sure you have the right change management, make sure your IT team is engaged with you and that we're getting the right sort of applications within the organization. We have a standard way in which we assess processes going forward. We understand how we're going to have maintenance to the bots and retrain them, and overall performance and tracking for these bots overall creates that center of excellence.